Welcome back, student. In this video, we are going to discuss finding initial basic feasible solution. Finding IBFS, initial basic feasible solution for the given transportation problem. We are having different methods. We are having northwest corner rule. We are having row minimum, we are having column minimum, we are having matrix minimum or the least cost method, we are having Vogel's approximation. We are having this method for finding the initial basic feasible solution, and then we are having different methods for finding the final basic feasible solution. So now in this method, today we are going to discuss least cost method. We are going to discuss the least cost method, or we call it as matrix minimum. Here there is the problem. They have defined obtain the IBFS, initial basic feasible solution, for the following transportation problem using LCM, least cost method, Here we are having three origins A, B, C. We are having three origins and we are having four destinations D, E, F, G. We are having four destinations. The availability at A is 250, the availability at B is 300, the availability at C is 400. The corresponding requirements at D is 200, E is 225, F is 275, G is 250. The transportation cost between the origin and destination are defined in the cost matrix. A to D is 11, Oman areas maybe. A to E is 13, A to F is 17, A to G is 13, Omani areas. Similarly, they have defined for B to D, B to E, B to F, B to G. Then C to D, C to E, C to F, C to G. So they have defined the corresponding transportation cost in the cost matrix. Now what we are going to do now, we are going to use the least cost method. And then we are going to find the transportation cost. So overall, initial basic feasible solution of the transportation cost. What is the meaning of least cost method? What we are going to do now? First and foremost thing, from the cost matrix, the meaning of cost matrix, the 11, 13, 17, 14, this is called the cost matrix. The transportation cost from the origin to the destination. From the cost matrix, I am going to select the least transportation cost. We are going to select the least transportation cost from the cost matrix. In step 2, with respect to the corresponding least transportation cost, we are going to use the corresponding row and column, and from the row and column we are going to find the minimum of the availability and the requirement. We are going to check the minimum of the availability and requirement from the corresponding row and column. Then we are going to allot the value. We are going to allot the minimum. Whatever we are having, we are going to allot the minimum in the least transportation cost. We are going to repeat the same process. Until all the values are allocated. until we finish all the values are allotted. We are going to proceed the steps. So let me take this idea from this table. Let me check. Here I am going to check what is the availability. I am going to check for the least cost. When I check 11, 13, 17, 14 and so on, I found the least value is 10. We found the least value is 10. So this is the least cost. I am going to select this. I am going to select this. Now I am going to check the minimum of the corresponding availability and requirements. I am going to check the minimum of the corresponding availability and requirement. When I check here, this is 300. The availability is 300. The requirement is 250. I am going to check I am going to select the minimum. I am going to select the minimum. Why, teacher? What is the purpose of selecting the minimum? See, for example, you are asking, give me something 300 riyals, but I am telling that I am having only 250 riyals. So, what I am going to do now, I am going to give you only 250 riyals. On the other side, I am having 300 riyals, you need only 250 riyals. So immediately, even if I am having 300 riyals, I am not going to give you the whole money, I will give you only 250 riyals. What is your requirement? So in both the cases, we are checking only for the minimum value. In both the cases, we are checking only for the minimum value. So when I check for the minimum value, 250 is the minimum value. So I am going to allot this 250 in this. I am going to allot this 250 in this cell. That means I have allotted all this value. I have allotted all this value. Here what will be the availability now? As I said to 300, as I have allotted 250, I will be having only 50 as the balance. The availability will be 50 as the balance. So I have allotted all the values. That means my intention for G is finished. My intention for G is finished. Now we are going to proceed the same idea until we have the requirements and availability are allocated. All the values are allotted. So let me proceed with, if you want you can proceed in the same matrix itself. Otherwise you can proceed with the different matrix. So I am going to take the remaining values. What are all the values available here? I am having A, B, C, G, I have allotted everything. So I am having D, E and F. I am going to take the cost matrix. What is the cost matrix here? This is 11, 13, 17, 16, 18, 14, 21, 24, 13. I am going to take the cost matrix. I am going to take the cost matrix for this one. So A, B, C, I am having 3 and here I am having D, E, F, destination 11, 13, 17, 16, 18, 14, 21, 24, 13. Now I am going to check the availability. Here in A there is no change. I am having all the 250 quantities. But when I come to B, I am having only 50 quantities are available. This is the one which is remaining, because already out of 300 I have allotted 250, so I am having balance 50. Next I am going to check here. I am having all the 400 quantities as it is. I am going to check the requirement. This is 200, this is 225 and 270. Now from this matrix I am going to check the least cost. From this matrix I am going to check the least cost. What is the least value here? 11 is the least value. So I am going to select this cell. I am going to select this cell. I am going to check the minimum of the corresponding availability. What is the corresponding availability here? 250. What is the requirement? 200. I am going to check the minimum value. 200 is the minimum value, so I am going to select 200 and I am going to allot 200 in this one. So here what will happen? The 200 is cancelled. That means my allocation for D is finished. From 250 we have allotted 200, so I will be having only the remaining quantity will be 50. The remaining quantity will be 50. Now we are going to proceed with the same idea to the next value. We are going to proceed to the next value. Here when we check here, we are having 13, 17, 18, 14, 24, 13, isn't it? Now I am going to check for the minimum value. When I check for the minimum value, I am having 13, 13. We are having two 13s. I am going to check where I can make the maximum allotment. Where I can make the maximum allotment. Here, when I check, I have only 50. Here I am having 400. So what I am going to do now, I am going to select this 13 for the next allocation. For the next allocation. Here the thing is that the basic idea, when you are having similar number or same cost, you are going to select where you can make the maximum allotment. Because here we are having 50, here we are having 400, so I am going to take the corresponding value. I am going to take the corresponding value. So now in this 13, I am going to check for the availability and requirement. I am going to check for the availability and requirement. This is 400. 275, so this is 275. So I am going to allot all the values of 275. So here this will get cancelled. I will be having the balance of 125. We will be having the balance of 125. So now we are having only one column left out. All the other values are finished. All the allocations are filled. Here we are having only 1, 13, 18, 24. We are having only one. So I am going to make the allotment directly. When I check 13 is the small value, I can allot 50. When I allot 50, what will be the balance here? This is 175. I am going to check the next one here, 18 and 24. In 18, I can allot all the 50. So here I will be having the balance of 125. Here I can allot all the 125. So this is how we are going to make the allocation. This is how we are going to make the allocation. So what we are going to do now, initially we are going to take the whole cost matrix. From the cost matrix we are going to select the least value. After selecting the least value, we are going to check for the minimum availability and the requirement. And we are going to make the allocation. We are going to make the allocation. Then we are going to find the balance, remaining. And then we are going to keep proceeding until all the values are allocated. All the values are allocated. Once the allocation is finished, now we are going to check for IBFS. We are going to check for IBFS, initial basic feasible solution. This we are going to take from each table. We are going to take from each table. When I take the first one, I am making the allotment 250 quantities at the cost of 10 money reals. When I take the first one, on the first one we are allocating 250 quantities for the cost of 10 reals. I am going to check the next one, plus. I am moving on to the next table. I am moving on to the next table. What is the next value here? We are allotting 200 quantities for 11 money reals. When I move to the next one, we are allotting 50 quantities at the cost of 13. When I check the next one, here we are allotting 50 quantities at the cost of 18. The next one, we are allotting 125 quantities at the cost of 24. 275 quantities at the cost of 13. So we are going to take the corresponding allotment and the cost, and we are going to find the total IBFS value. We are going to find the total IBFS value. See, we are going to find the values. 250 into 10, 2500. 200 into 11, 2200. 50 into 13, 650. 50 into 18, this is 900. 125 into 24, this is 3000. And 275 into 13, this is 3575. We are going to find the total. This is 12,825. This is 12,825. 25. This is the initial basic feasible solution. This is the initial basic feasible solution for the given transportation problem. For the given transportation problem using least cost method. Using the least cost method. Remember, whatever the method we are using, there is the possibility for the changes in the IBFS value. There is the possibility for changes in the IBFS value. So this is what we are going to discuss in this chapter. The next video we will discuss the next idea. The next video we will discuss the next idea.